Okay, so apparently I used the word right too much, and apparently it's forcing my beliefs onto someone else's beliefs. But technically, when I use the word right, um, I generally try to presume that someone had the basic um, uh, facts or information as I do. That's why I use the word right as a question. Whether they choose to agree with me, that's on them, and they would have to isolate all those you know facts or my statements and determine whether or not you know it it's correct for them. So it's almost like an indicator um, to help you um, to to isolate my statements. That's all it is. You know what I mean? So you know, if I don't use the word right, or what I mean, then you don't know where to begin to isolate whether or not it's a statement that you want to agree with. You know what I mean? You can possibly sit there and disagree all day long without even questioning whether I'm right or not. You know what I mean? So, I think people do that naturally just to help people understand whether or not there's, a statement needs to be stopped before it goes any further. You know what I mean? But if you just listen for me to say right, 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 and you're saying that I'm forcing that, you know, um, erroneous statement upon you because you think it's erroneous, but you didn't even like listen to my statement. Then you might have the issue with just the word right. you know, you can't tell a smart Alec anything. They won't listen to you, bro. I'm over here arguing without even like finishing a sentence before they start arguing with me. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get why people want to debate. You know what I mean? They're debating on not on actual anything, but they just want to be right. You know what I mean? And I could be talking about like a whole subject matter that they haven't even started to hear me out on, right? And then they divert to like subjugating me to their beliefs about me, saying that why being critical about me as a person versus my topic matter. Anyway, whatever, you know what I mean. They could do all that day all day long. You know what I mean. You know. Um. So instead of actually talking about the subject, we talked about me. Hey, if I'm not special, you feel me? I'm not special, But yeah, usually, it always ends up being, some sort of combative argument, debate, or whatever. And I'm always trying to acknowledge it, right? And then it never gets to be acknowledged on their end. But anyway, that's what I got today. Peace.